Enough of that tomfoolery. So you guys didn't come here to listen to me play this guitar. Although this thing is hard to put down. Man, it's fun to play. And that's out of the box. That's not set up. You guys came here for part 2. And I promised in part 2 that we were going to take this thing apart and see if there's any structural reasons why anyone would have thought, you know what, I think I'm going to return this thing. Let's find out. All right, so the guitar is on the bench, and we're going to start looking at this from a construction point of view, I guess. So, one reason we talked about in the first video, maybe someone decided to return this, is there's no string tree. Well, all right, before we take these strings off, let's just add a string tree. Center that, because I'm going to install this type of string tree. And the hole, the mounting hole, is a dead center between the two little extensions that hold the string down. So it's the easiest thing ever to put a string tree on these guitars. So there it is. Dead center between the two strings. Just a little tiny pin mark. So I'm going to drill that out now and install the string tree. The strings off. So in the last video, man, I got a ton of comments. It's crazy. Some people were like, these are marked as returns, but they're really a marketing scheme for YouTubers like you to promote these guitars so that other people want to buy them. First of all, thank you for thinking that my video is good enough as a promotion tool to sell these guitars. Second of all, do you watch YouTube at all? Do you understand how it works? I have 1,500, maybe 1,600 subscribers, which is kind of nothing compared to some of these other YouTubers. If you look at my description, I don't list the tools I use, right? I don't list any of the tools I use or any of the techniques I use to fix guitars, because I just do this for fun. I just buy these tools myself. They're not sent to me by people wanting me to market for them. Right? What the heck? Well, anyway, I'm flattered that you would think that, but man, some of these people watching these videos, as soon as someone's impressed with the guitar, they think it's all about promotion and marketing and be a ploy. It's like, whatever. So I already have measured the depth of the screw, and roughly the diameter of the screw. Don't ask me what size this drill bit is. I don't know. I just eye it, right? Look at the screw, look at the drill bit, make sure it's a little bit smaller than the screw. It's not rocket science, whatever. And I'm going to drill until this tape makes contact with the headstock, and that's it. So here we go. And there you go, you got one nice little hole right there by the second peg. Before I put this in, because this is roasted maple, sometimes, you know, it bites pretty hard. So I just put a smidge of, I have synthetic grease in here, and I just put a drop of it on the tip of the screw and just put it around the starting threads, and it just helps go in there smoother. You know, it doesn't bind up, and it's less of a chance of breaking that little screw in the headstock. All right, so that's what it looks like installed. That's it. Easy peasy. So there you go. The locking wheels are backed off all the way. I guess this one can be a little further out. And you can see the gears in there. And, you know, I think they're lubed with something, but there isn't much of anything in there. So I always, on every set of locking tuners I've ever put on a guitar, I always take some synthetic grease. I put it in this, you know, little syringes you can pick up at the dollar store. And I just give a shot of synthetic grease where the tuner shaft meets the gear inside. And then you can see that splotch of grease there that I just put in there. See that? Just a little bead of it. And then we're going to work those tuners, you know, forward and backwards and get that grease all around the gear, and you'll never have to do that again. All right, so all these are greased up, and then when we turn it around, take a 10mm wrench. I use a little socket, and we're just going to check the front of them. On some guitars you have to almost do like a turn or turn and a half to snug up these tuners. It's always good to check. All right. And then I do the same thing backwards. Zero slop, 18:1 gear ratio, and now we have a string tree. Headstock is done, and that is not the reason why someone would have returned this guitar. Now, some people said maybe when they got the guitar, they realized that they hated the look of the headstock. And you know what? Maybe not everybody likes that, but man, it's well made. And it's light. These aerodynamic kind of headstocks really help with neck dive. And you guys know that Tellies have neck dive. I love the look of these. They look very Suhr-ish, like, you know, the Suhr guitars. Anyway, moving on. Gonna take this neck off. Is there a hole in the middle of this? No. Do this. So the other thing that you guys want to remember is these screws are not all the same length, right? Because this is a contoured heel, the two upper screws are shorter than the two bottom ones. So when you reinstall, make sure you keep tabs on that, or you might have a little hokey pokey through your fretboard, and that would suck. And we'll check this neck. Well, look at this. So this neck is nicely installed in the pocket. So we're just going to take this up, flip it around, work it. There we go. So one guy commented and said they probably returned it because the neck is loose in the pocket. Now, how you could tell that from my other video, I have no idea. But he said there was a big gap. And I don't know. There is a small shim here, which we'll reuse. If I do this, nope, there is no gap. It's pretty tight. I mean, you can move the neck a little bit side to side, which is good because it's tight at the bottom, but it's got a little bit of play at the top. So you can make sure that your string alignment is perfect. Nothing wrong with this, but we will check if the frets are level in a few minutes. The pocket is super nice. There's a little bit of stain, white stain on it. I always pass a little sanding block to make sure that there's no pips or anything in there, but this one feels pretty good. All right, let's take this pickguard off. These magnetic trays are awesome. I don't know of too many budget tellies that come with an uncovered, staggered neck pickup, and it's not ceramic either. This guy, that's an Alnico pickup right there is what you're looking at. Insulated cloth wire, and check that out, shielding paint throughout. And if you noticed, there's a humbucker out there, right? So you can do whatever configuration that you want. Check how smooth these routs are. Like, I'm pushing hard on this, and I'm not worried about getting a splinter in my finger or anything. And look at the bottom of the route as well. Super smooth. Just put this pickguard back on. We're not going to need to do anything with that. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. Full-size pots. They are their own brand, American Blade Switch for the switching. CBB 22. I don't know what kind of capacitor this is. Here's the neck pickup wire. Here is the bridge pickup wire. And here is a third black shielded wire. So that means we don't have to take this bridge off. It's already grounded. First gen, or the first series that they put out, the classics, they look just like this. They just didn't have them in white at that time. They do not have a grounding wire. So if you're having some humming or buzzing issues, just add a grounding wire. And then here is the jack wires right here. So yeah, very clean, very nicely done. Nice, thick, insulated cloth wire. And again, shielding paint. Now we'll get you a reading on these pickups. Bridge pickup, 8.03K. That's where I like my tele pickups. I like my tele pickups from 7.5 to 9K. You can get some good grit. It'll handle overdrive well, but it's not excessively hot. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different ear. I don't think we see the same colors, although we all call red red, and I don't think we hear the same tones. So 8.02, as far as I'm concerned, is perfect for tele. The neck pickup, 7.29. Perfect. It's a little less hot than the bridge pickup. However, it's further away, so you get more string vibration. So that difference would give you the ability to really balance out these pickups from one to the other. And in the middle, we probably just around the 4K mark. Okay, I was wrong. 388. Well, close enough. Very curious about this. Want to see what's going on here. All right, moment of truth. It is pure tone style jack. You see that? It has 2 contact points on the ground and 2 for the tip. So why is it only clicking once? So here we go. Yeah. Only the sleeve is grounding this out. These 2 lower ones are not making contact. That's an easy fix. Just got to bend these in a bit. One on the other side is a little harder because the wires are right there, so I'm just going to push on it. Click, click, and there we go. Oh, and for the person who left a comment that these are just plywood guitars, nope, solid mahogany. Yep, mahogany bodies, just like some of the high-end PRSs. Last thing we could check is strap buttons. Make sure that, oh yeah, these are tight. Those are turning. Ugh, nope. This body is perfect. Nothing here is the reason why this guitar was returned. Truss rod wheel adjustment wrench. Check, see how level we are. All right, we got a bit of a back bow, which makes sense because with the strings on it, in the first video when I checked the relief, there wasn't any. Which is impressive in itself that this thing even played, you know, buzz-free with no relief. So we're just going to add some relief to this neck. Get it nice and straight. There we go. That's all it took. Wow, that is perfectly flat right there. Check these frets. Now, in case some of you are wondering, why are you just sliding it across? I'm not. Going across, and I'm applying some pressure here with my right hand. Right? So if I find the high spot, it's going to clack. You're going to hear it. Oh, here we go, look. It's one high end right on the tip of this fret. There's one. This one's a little bit high right in the middle. There you go. Hope you can see that. This one and this one on this whole neck. Perfect. And just got to recrown this fret that I just filed a bit. We're just going to recheck to make sure everything is still level. Beautiful. Yep. We had this one. Yep. Awesome. Look like glass after you're done. Now final polish. This is the 0000 steel wool. That's it. Done. See that? Now we're going to take these very slight pips off. Go. There. It's a thing of beauty right there, folks. Alright, so I just sanded down this pocket, as you can see. There's still a little bit of stain there, but this is super smooth. And I also drilled out the holes just so that these screws now flow freely and they don't thread into the body, only into the back of the neck. So just going to polish the guitar and we'll do a reassembly and a final conclusion. Alright, well, it's done. I didn't have to do anything to the nut. It was perfect. Pickguard looks kind of all scuffed up. That's just because the plastic is still on it. Because this thing is pristine, man. Absolutely pristine. And to the guy who commented on the last video that 9-year-old kids are making these in a warehouse, I want to meet those 9-year-old kids, man. If they can build a guitar like this, Fender should be ashamed of themselves. I'll tell you that right now. This is crazy. Even resonance-wise, acoustically. Just, there's nothing wrong with this. So why would someone return this? The wife found out about it. and it had to go back. They thought they wanted a Telly, got one, realized it doesn't balance like their Strat, sent it back. The rent was due at the end of the month and realized the $400 or $500 Canadian that they spent to get this would help with the rent, so they sent it back. Or they didn't realize that it was a transparent white, and I know it's not coming up in the video, but it's an awesome transparent white. You can see the grain underneath, and it's really cool. I don't know what the reason is, but I'll tell you what the reason isn't. It's not because there was anything wrong with this guitar. It's not because the playability is not good. It's not because you can't dial it in. It's not because these pickups don't sound good. It's not because the hardware is cheap. It's not because the neck feels weird. You can say it's the headstock shape. That, you know what? The headstock shape has no bearing on how well this guitar plays. Some people will tell you that the headstock shape affects the tone of the guitar. Look, there's numerous videos online that'll tell you it doesn't. Anyway, let's not go there. Whatever the reason is that this guitar was returned, I want to say thanks to the guy who had it and sent it back. So anyway, guys, I don't know why people would return a budget guitar of this quality, but everybody has a reason, and who are we to judge, right? Don't give a crap about what's written on the headstock. Just find a guitar that you like, get it set up for your playing style, and just enjoy. Make music. Because a world without music would be a terrible place. So you guys take care. God bless. Keep rocking your 6-string, whatever the name on the headstock is. Until next time, rock on.